Officials, Brian Abbott, Dan Bennett, Adam Ariosa, with Maryland here on home field wearing the whites. Coming up off the ground, long stick midfielder Jack McDonald. Whittier turning back, playing catch with Bryce Ford. Bringing on around for Braden Erksa as he gets to the alley. Bumped quickly on the perimeter there. Short stick defensive midfielder is Brendan Leary. Feed it tight. Fressian made a good stop there on Ford to get his day going.
And you look at Penn State, the way they're set up offensively, looks like they are still without the services of Ryan DeRocco. Luke Wallstrom, 21 in blue, getting the start today on attack.
Feed inside. Aquino buries it for Penn State.
Game couldn't have started better for Penn State with this save by Jack Fressian. This is a beautiful look from Erksa. Nice save by Fressian. We go to the other end of the field. And here we go. Trainer. He looked rusty last week. Beautiful feed. This Maryland program, and you can tell he's looking for that interior for scoring opportunities.
Had that quick cutaway of Jeff Tambroni, hoping that his squad will be better in the game management department this week. Amon has 20 seconds to shoot. Comes off of a pick and fires. They're going to give the ball to Maryland.
A lot of people wonder why Stovall hasn't played more. Great high school career, came out of the IMG Academy in Florida. That's the reason. A lot of turnovers when the big midi gets out on the field.
Erksa getting topside. Question mark, he scores! Braden Erksa.
Maryland with a wrinkle of their own. They run Spanos out of the box. He normally starts on attack, but with the shuffled personnel, it changes the matchups. And you're just going to see behind the cage, Erksa. It's a bad approach by Alex Ross.
From Schaller. Shot clock's at 7. Lehman off the roll dodge. Well played and ripped off by Will Schaller. Ford has it. Former Fairfield University standout. Spanos bulldozing in against John King. Spanos against the shorty, feeds for Erksa. Ball movement's exquisite here. Score! A rocket from Keegan.
Maryland graduates Ajax Zapatello, their #1 cover man, former Schmeiser Award winner, is a top defenseman in Division I college lacrosse and a first-team All-American. No sweat. We've got one of his understudies, 27, Schaller. Look at him with the takeaway, beautiful aggressiveness, gets Lehman off balance. And on the other end, it's just this matchup with Spanos has the Penn State defense's head swimming.
At what he does, he cares so much about this Penn State program. Long fires, that was broken up. The ricochet to the sideline. Schaller selling out, great effort. Down the flank quickly, in transition. Slow break, score! A.J. Larkin.
I don't get it. You get a great stop after coming out of his own, and you're just careless offensively. I don't know what Ethan Long is thinking. You're 15 yards from the goal. You have a teammate wide open to your right, and now you got Maryland ramming it down your throat with a juice goal. That's the difference between the two. I think McDonald's a better defender. Larkin, though, in transition, he can shoot. He is a weapon in that regard.
Keegan on the feed. Spanos bulldozing inside. He scores! Eric Spanos will not be denied.
Jeff Tambroni has seen enough. He calls a quick timeout to settle his troops down. Spanos is a big man. on a shorty, on a pole, no matter what you throw at big number 7, if he gets his head down, shoulder into you, and establishes space, which is what he does right there, that's typically the end result.
Kick it back behind. Trainer ready to go. Picked up by Peter Lake. Snapshot, score! Brilliant effort there from Luke Wallstrom.
That was a great possession by Penn State. Patient, methodical, and you capitalize on the Terrapin turnover. Prior to this individual effort by Wallstrom, there were a couple of Nittany Lions open on the interior, but you have to appreciate Wallstrom. Watch him attack this matchup with speed and recognition. He gets a step, heads up, knows the slide is just a tad too late. Sloppy first quarter, Joe. 13 combined turnovers, 14 shots. Let's hope both these teams have got that out of their system heading into the second quarter.
Definitely won't make the coaching staffs any happier. Spanos! A beautiful move to get inside.
Nothing fancy here. Penn State again in their zone defense. Spanos is the trigger man up top. You can see offensive coordinator Mike Phipps floating him between the wing and inside, and this is just straight up waving sticks at number 7 in white. That's not going to get it done.
On the scoreboard today, Penn State in the dark blue with possession, a bouncer from Baldwin that's easily rejected by McNaney. He'll feed McDonald, fast break Terps. McDonald kick it. On the wing, Spanos! Bang!
Once more, poor decision making leads to a Terrapin goal in transition. Easily gobbled up. I don't know as a faceoff man why you want to take that shot when you're getting run up. McDonald leading the break, hits Spanos, and he just makes his way to the cage and hammers it home.
Schaller, who has been everywhere in the picture at this end of the field so far today. A sun-splashed afternoon in College Park.
And
nice cut to the inside. McNaney made the stop there on Amon.
Wow, golden opportunity. Beautiful look from Ethan Long to Amon.
Leary will take his turn on Spanos. Spanos waiting for a lane, finds an avenue there for a jump shot. Frassian made the stop on Keegan.
Clamped it down.
Frassian's second save. He admitted to us he didn't play well. He didn't think he played to his capability last week against Ohio State. And then he says, you know, you only have so many games left.
Yeah.
Wallstrom on the move.
After the game, Joe saw Jack by himself on the Penn State bench, just sitting and
Sherritt. Aitken. Sightseeing on the outside. Shot clock's at 24. Ford on the sneak. Gets loose from Parnham. Nice pass back door. Incredible stop from Frassian. Spanos maneuvers in off the split dodge. Didn't create any room for himself. This way, Schultz over the top. That's easy pickings for Frassian, who's locked in now. Long strides to get to the middle. Aquino off the split. Moving better this week than last. Ran into trouble though. Lake and Larkin combined to make the takeaway.
Roll Dons roll. 2 Loyola High School graduates combined. And again, I like how Penn State is getting to the middle of the field. They just won't unleash that shot, being too generous.
Jump shot here. Score! Kohler.
Another transition goal for Maryland. That's 3 by my tally sheet so far in this game. This one a little bit more of a slow break. We mentioned Larkin's prowess on the offensive end of the field with the 70 inches of titanium. He's able to hang out for a second, gets a feed, and then shuttles it down the left, and there you see one of his short stick defensive rope unit. O'Connor with a gritty ground ball off the wing. I've been really impressed with number 42 in blue. His game here today, he has been a difference maker for Penn State.
Son of Edward and Janet, Ryan O'Connor had 10 caused turnovers last season. McNaney with an early third quarter stop.
Are dominating and comfortable.
Wallstrom, who had a beautiful tally at this end of the field. It happens to be the last one so far for Penn State. DeRocco inside Hobbs, Schaller cloaked over him, and Gravino has it for Maryland.
Oh, Lee Zink was Pasavia's yin to the yang.
Exactly.
I mean, you had a sit-down, position, disciplined defender, and Pasavia, meanwhile, was the kamikaze on the other side.
Schultz, cross field, score! Beautiful passing play for Urksa.
Beautiful offense by this Maryland Terrapin team, and they are just playing an efficient, intelligent game here today. And Urksa, we saw him earlier with a one-on-one win. This time it's off ball. And here's again the defense that we talked about. Hobbs was maybe open for a split second, but with the stick in his right hand, not gonna work. Stovall, early turnover, he has settled down. Look at this beautiful skip pass. That is great vision by Schultz over to Urksa, who slams it home. Michigan coming off their biggest win of the season, knocking off Maryland. Hopkins looking to get back on track. I'm just wondering if Mitchell Pelkey's going to hit the frog on the broadcast.
Amon fires, he scores! Jack Amon.
Let's refer to amphibians. That seems to work for Penn State. Jack Amon, the transfer from Rutgers. We've been talking about it throughout the game, Joe. We're seeing Penn State get to the middle of the field, but they just don't unleash the shot. This time you get the separation, you get the comfort, and you get downhill.
Ford challenged by King. They play a two-person game on the outside.
Yeah, Keegan and Ford have just fit seamlessly into this Maryland offense. That's what Maryland does when they mine the transfer portal.
Whittier fires, crossing over Frassian, saw it all the way.
Guys that was top of the heap, but he has been terrific. And you saw him catch that pass behind the cage. I think as he gets more experience, he's going to learn to front curl, take it on the run, and try to score.
Score here, Trainer! On a wraparound, it's back-to-back goals for the Nittany Lions.
Great job by Penn State. You score the goal to end a 20-plus minute scoring drought. You get the defensive stop, and then you come down and you stack another goal. This is what Penn State needs to do. Trainer recognizes that shorty matchup. He can play midfield, he can play attack. He's just an offensive player. And watch him just feel and get around the cage. Again, that slow slide, very slow slide allows Trainer to get top side.
With Hobbs and now Lehman against Schaller. DeRocco. Feed for Trainer, gets inside, fires. Straightening up to make that stop, McNaney. Floated on out to Stamos. The Terps will run. 4-on-3 in this fast break. Kick it inside, Urksa! He scores! The hat trick for Braden Urksa.
This is a tough one for Penn State. Trainer gets a clean look on McNaney going downhill, and he just plays catch with number 1 in the Terrapin cage. Stamos gets out in transition. 4th goal for Maryland along that vein. Poor shot placement. Uncle Jesse on the run out. He's off to the races. Urksa underneath, whirling dervish, sweet feet around the crease, and he sticks it. Their classmates and fellow Nittany Lions.
For sure. Book it. Michigan on the women's side, a strong win recently over USC. Spanos powering in, delays the dodge, bounces, and scores for his 4th.
Spanos has been as you just said, a force today for the Maryland Terrapins. I've never seen a guy weave through a Penn State defense like this. Spanos up top uses his size to get inside. But here you see 1, 2, 3, 4 blue jerseys. A cluster of traffic on Route 1. Spanos somehow is going to be able to sleek and slink his way. Modified toe drag. No, he's going to pay the price, but still bounces it past Frasian. So in a twist, Joe, John Tillman called timeout before that goal was scored.
Oh.
We just learned that coming out. We play on.
You got some white out for me? I need that on the score sheet here.
Spanos is like, come on, coach.
20 seconds on the shot clock. Turnover. Nittany Lions will run. Aldridge fires. Vacuumed up by McNaney. Aldridge, who scored in each of his last 2 games, the short stick defensive midfielder, electing to pull the trigger there. Tail end of the third quarter, it was a 7-2 advantage for the Terps after 30 if you're just tuning in with us. Joe Beninati, Mark Dixon with you, Lacrosse on the Big Ten Network. We shout out thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew. This one's a laser from the outside. Top shelf Keegan.
Keegan, so smooth, sold this one beautifully. Frasian guessed low because of the stick positioning of Keegan. Watch him take Jack Frasian on the elevator. Beautiful shot from 36 in white. And here is the no goal. The officials coming in on the right side of the screen, waving it off. Not so fast.
That pass was high. Aiden Aitken, the Florida native, tracked it down. Erks is next. Schultz ramming into Leary. Looks cross field. Here it comes! Aitken! Bullseye!
This Maryland offense just continues to impress. You knew they were going to be dialed in. You knew they were going to be focused. Maybe a little bit more than usual coming off of that loss to Michigan a week ago. And they've recognized Frasian likes to drop. He is a guesser. And that is just a beautiful look.
The lead, 7 for Maryland. Long against Stamos, looking cross field. That one gets away. Amon will run it down. 7 seconds left in the quarter. Amon accelerates to the heart of the Maryland defense. The pass, jump shot, Lehman! He scores! A buzzer beater for Kyle Lehman.
That's a big one. Lehman gets free inside, and it wasn't necessarily a sweep to the middle of the field, but you have to like the sweet handle. And watch the clock. As long as this ball is out of his stick before that clock hits triple zeros, which it is, actually a little bit of time left. Beautiful shot.
And the Wolverines in Ann Arbor. Ryan Cohen, over 100 goals and 100 assists in his career for the Maize and Blue. Matt Trainer fires, he scores! A sizzler from the outside.
This is what Penn State has to do. Take the momentum from the late goal by Lehman and turn it into pay dirt. Trainer, battling injury the last couple of weeks, has come to play here today. Time, space, worm burner. Beautiful recognition.
Throws a stiff arm there too. Lehman, a long way from the cooker against Burlace. Screen set there by Aquino. Shot clock down to 25. Matt Trainer opens up again. Schaller closed ranks, and McNaney slams it into his cross.
That was a great look from Wallstrom. Over the years, he has really picked up that mantle. Not very heralded coming out of high school, but effective, gritty, tough, all the things you look for in a face-off man.
Long inside, Aquino. Bullseye! Hunter Aquino. It's a 5-goal deficit.
I like how Aquino kept his feet moving. And Ethan Long, while he's made some questionable shot choices and turned the ball over a little bit today, his feeding ability is second to none out of the midfield on this Penn State team. Aquino, 6'4", little backdoor cut. It's not very often you see Maryland ball watching, but that's exactly what they did. Aquino slips it, catches, fires.
Aquino slithers to the heart of the Maryland defense, rolls back against Holmes. Amon's next. Trainer on the isolation, look inside, Amon stabbed by McNaney. He's up to 9 stops on the day. Badgered on the outside by Burlace, whose dad Brian was a National Defender of the Year in his time at Maryland. Long, hitching to the inside, jukes free from Spanos and fires. And there's Logan McNaney.
Here in 2025.
John Tillman said it's just been outstanding. He's got to remind the Terps from time to time that, hey, Logan is human. Keegan working on the outside with Urksa. McNaney leads the conference in saves and save percentages. Kelly stings another corner.
Shooters are going to shoot. Kelly, you can't keep him down forever. He scored a goal earlier, and here he gets his second tally. You can see that Maryland was being judicious with their shots. They passed up a couple of good looks, but Kelly, 45 and white, was not going to pass up his opportunity. It starts with McNaney. Nice shot by Amon, stifled by number 1, and he leads to be the best. They come down the other end. Kelly says, I'm not going to pass this one up. Right there, they could have let it go. They just cycle it one more time to big 45, and he flips it past Rassian.
Will Peden on the go. Peden turns back against Holmes, who gets help from McDonald. An open Lehman fires and scores! Kyle Lehman.
.312 left in this one. Penn State, if they can win some face-offs, get some quick strike goals, they have an opportunity. We talked about Maryland's skip passes throughout the game. You got to love this one. Peden, he is an attackman playing in the midfield. Great vision, threads the needle, and that is a gorgeous shot. Actually looked like Maryland got a little bit of a piece of it.
As he finagles away from Kyle Aldridge. Whittier leans in, turns back for Keegan. Already a couple of goals today. He'll let this one go off of a Penn State defender. The rebound towards the midline. And now we'll get the call. In all 8 of Maryland's wins, they will have held the opponents to 10 goals or less, should this story hold. Penn State gets possession with 45 to go. Spanos with the ride there from the blind side. Maryland gets possession, and this one can be banked in favor of the Terps.
Yeah, I think it just kind of sums up the day for Penn State and Eric Spanos.
The Terps took control of this game in the first half and never relinquished the lead. They banked this one by the final of 13-8 here in College Park.
Logan